Yeah, you just certainly got to tip your hat to Southern Miss. I can't imagine playing a much more complete game than that. You know, Adams filled up strike zone. He was good and made pitches when he had to. We didn't do a whole lot with him, only 4 hits. And, you know, we had to run at second and first, but that might have been the last time we got a kind of scoring position. And every time Blake made a mistake, they made him pay. You know, they were on the barrel and got a bunch of big hits. And, you know, he hung some breaking balls and they hit him out of the ballpark. So and they made a number of good defensive plays as well. So, you know, it's just their day, and they've got a heck of a ball club, and they're playing really well right now. We kind of ran into a buzzsaw.
I will open up for questions.
Coach Pierce Yarder, FAU Athletics. You know, we talked to you yesterday about the offense, you know, not being the best this year, having to be opportunistic. What was it about Matthew Adams today that frustrated your bats?
He just located. You know, he threw the fastball down and away well. He mixed in the breaking ball, and you know, the balls that we hit on the barrel were right at him. So it's just one of those baseball days. We've done that a lot this year, and you know, we're not the type of dynamic offense that, you know, is going to typically be able to hang a bunch of runs on somebody in a row a few times this year. But you know, they just keep pressuring you. You know, we couldn't get leadoff guys out. They had a number of leadoff guys on base, and you know, rolling the lineup. And then you know, Pratt has a big day out of the 9-hole. That doesn't help. And so just their day. They played really well, and like I said, you got to give them all the credit.
Coach Gary with the Monarchists, can you talk a little bit about the pitching strategy later in the game, knowing you were likely going to play again tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those where we weren't going to throw anybody that we probably thought we needed to throw tomorrow, and you know, whether it's 3-1 or 10-0, you know, you get beat. You need to save some arms when you have another day to play, and we get to play tomorrow. I told the guys, like, there's a lot of teams in the country that the seasons are over, and we get to play another game. And as long as you know, look at it that way and embrace it, you got to just wash this one off when you take a shower, and it's a loss. We've been beat bad before and come back and play pretty well the next day, and we're playing a team that's another good ball club, but we beat them already once in this tournament. And you know, it's just some guys that haven't pitched a ton are going to have to step up tomorrow and in the future, as long as we keep playing. And that's the way it is for both teams, certainly, that are playing tomorrow. So, you know, you'll see some guys that probably in some different roles that maybe you haven't seen all year, and they're just going to have to step up and do the job for us.
You bring in Efrain Morales, freshman, immediately gets on base with a base hit. Can you just talk about those guys that are going to have to step in and kind of do what he did today and fill those roles and make the most of the opportunities?
Yeah, that was good to see. That is F's, you know, he played yesterday and didn't have any hits, but got a barrel there and hit that ball hard. We haven't had him much the last 3 weeks because of concussion, but he'll be in the lineup tomorrow certainly. And he's a tough little out usually and gives us a little spark there. So hopefully we'll keep that up tomorrow.
You're going to see the Trojans again for the second time in 3 days. How do you get the better of them again and get to face this USM squad again?
Yeah, you're gonna have to play good baseball. I mean, we don't have you know, the lefties that we had to throw at them the first time, so it'll be a bunch of righties, and they're gonna have to make pitches, and you know, they're a good lineup. So you know, you're just gonna have to keep them in a ballpark, and we're gonna have to score too.
Any idea who's starting for you tomorrow?
Not yet. We're gonna go talk about it.